Hi guys, I wanted to put together a quick video on the new order management configuration inside of Beta 3. I put the updates up on the site a couple of hours ago, but some of the changes I feel needs a little bit of extra explanation. So I'm just going to run through this video with you quickly and point out the main sort of differences between the previous release and this one. Essentially, what I've done with the orders is over the last week I overhauled the entire bit of code that works with entering orders and receiving the statuses, communication with Ninja, etc. And that code in Beta 1 and Beta 2 wasn't optimized. I'm sure you could see when you would place your limit orders.
Order pending.
This is that I'm running now is the new one, but the previous one there was a little bit of a delay, like 1 or 2 seconds before it came back. So you should notice straight away on Beta 3 that the order feedback is now virtually instant in terms of two things. The first thing is that I've added a new status in between the working status and no status at all, which is the initialized status, and that can be set to a particular color. So what I've done in this default is I've given the initializing status a slightly lighter color. So you'll see when the order actually hits the ladder, it almost looks like it flashes a bit.
Order pending.
And then it goes to the solid color, which is essentially order initialized, and then it hits the blue, which is now order waiting. So that's the default setup on the order book, but obviously you can change that to however you want.
Order filled.
The main reason that I did that is because it makes the DOM a little bit more tactile in terms
Order
of
cancelled.
how it actually feels when you're entering the orders. Before, you'd hit the ladder, and then there'd be this delay, and then it would appear, and it gave it a very sort of laggy feel. And of course, you didn't know particularly whether the DOM had actually received your click. I mean, that's another issue. And if it hadn't, for some reason, you wouldn't know until a couple of seconds afterwards that you didn't actually have an order going to the exchange. So adding this sort of in-between status just gives the DOM the ability to sort of communicate back to you, yes, I received the click immediately, and then it flicks over to the sort of the solid colors to tell you, okay, it's working on the exchange. Now you don't have to use that new feature if you don't like it. You don't like the flash or whatnot. You can basically go and configure that color through the order ladder configuration column, and you can just set the initialized status color to be the same as the working color. So if we move there, so the fast path for anything from the DOM to the config screen is a shift click. So if we shift click the order ladder, it will open up the config box for us, and from here it's automatically highlighted the order column with its basic properties. So we're not dealing with the basic properties, we're dealing with the type properties, which is are properties that are specific to the type of column that we're dealing with. So basic properties are all properties general to a column, background colors, fonts, cell border colors, etc. Now we're wanting to deal with something specific, which is the orders, and that is specific to the order type column. So that's going to be in the type properties. Now if you click on type properties, here we go. So under the display limit tab, you see here is the background color. That's the previous background color that was set in Beta 2 was it was the solid blue, and that was the only option that we had for orders. Now the new Beta 3 has this background color init. So that init is just short for initialized or initialized status of the order. So you see that's the light blue, and that's what sort of creates that kind of flashy effect when it hits the ladder. If you don't want that, you can quite easily just click on it and set it to blue. This at the moment I'm looking at the default specs. Obviously I can't change that. If I wanted to change it, I need to go to the test spec. I need to go to the order, and I'll change it over here. So if I change that now to blue, I'll just show you here. If I go to, just need to make sure that my form actually has it. So this last term of here has got the test spec applied. So if we drop the limits on here,
Order pending. Order pending.
you see there's no flash. It just immediately goes to the blue. There, it is still running through the initialize and working status, but of course, because they're both blue, the eye can't pick it up. So if you don't like the being able to see the initialize status, you've got the option to just, change that back. And of course, you still get all the speed advantages, which is, you can see it for yourself how much quicker it is.
Order pending. Order cancelled.
Right, so yeah, before I move on to the next thing, I just wanted to show you one more thing. When we were doing that initial demonstration there, and I shift-clicked on the column over here, and it brought us into 9G order book C order, and I wasn't able to change it. The shift click is intelligent enough to actually know which specification is applied to a DOM. So, for instance, this one that I clicked originally, when you if we had to go and have a look at that form, it's so it's that one there. So the first one, 157, that's essentially that, and it's got the 9G order book default applied. That's why it jumped to that spec. So if we want to, if I clicked on this DOM, which has got the test spec applied, you'll see it jump straight into the test spec and see order, and immediately it's on the spot, and we just changed that.